Cantonese.
你好，香港、澳門、大陸。
Cantonese Class 101. Welcome to CantoneseClass101.com. I'm David,
大家好，我係 Nicole。
and we're here with a lesson that is Absolute Beginner Season 2, Lesson 11.
Hong Kong hotels.
Right. So our dialogue here is all about someone checking into a hotel.
Or booking one.
Or booking one, true. So we've got a dialogue that's all about this. And as always, everyone is speaking casual Cantonese.
Definitely.
So this is language you can use right away. Before we get to that, we want to remind you, if you have any questions, if you have any comments,
visit our site and post it.
yes, Nicole is reading every day. So if you have any questions, she's going to get back to you.
As soon as possible.
Yeah, and if not, you can leave another message complaining to Nicole. Anyway, with that said, let's get to the dialogue.
我要訂房，
咩房？
標準房，
幾間？
一間。
好，
One more time, a bit slower.
我要訂房，
咩房？
標準房，
幾間？
一間。
好，
And now, with the English translation.
我要訂房。
I want to book a room.
咩房？
What kind of room?
標準房。
A standard room.
幾間？
How many?
一間。
One.
好。
Okay. So this lesson is all about what you need to know if you want to book a hotel in Hong Kong.
Yeah, all checking in.
Yeah, and a standard room could be between really about 5 square meters and 30 square meters, depending on which hotel you're at.
That's right.
If you're looking on the expensive side, if you're looking on the cheap side, we know a couple of good places. So send us an email and we'll send you some tips.
Mm-hmm.
That said, let's get to the vocab, which is really important to know if you're doing this stuff yourself.
訂
To book,
訂標準房
standard room,
標準房標準房雙人房
double room,
雙人房雙人房單人房
single room,
單人房單人房總統套房
presidential suite,
總統套房總統套房退房
to check out,
退房退房大堂
lobby,
大堂大堂間
measure word for rooms,
間
Let's have a closer look at some of these words and phrases. When you step into a hotel, the first thing you're going to want to do is ask, do you have any rooms?
有冇房
Do you have any rooms?
有冇房
And we're hearing the word for room there.
房
They're going to either say they have or they don't have.
有
Or,
冇
let's assume that they have space. They might tell you, we have a standard room.
有標準房，
We have a standard room.
有標準房，
Or maybe, we have a double room.
有雙人房，
We have a double room.
有雙人房，
Or maybe they'll give you a choice, standard room or double room.
標準房定雙人房，
Standard room or double room.
標準房定雙人房，
And that double room is literally twin or two people room.
雙人房，
We have a single room in our vocab section as well.
單人房，
You can always ask them, can I see the room?
可唔可以睇下房？
Can I see the room?
可唔可以睇下房？
And that's can or cannot.
可唔可以
To see
睇
the room.
房？
Can I see the room?
可唔可以睇下房？
What's that ha there?
Ha is have a bit, to do something for a little bit.
For a little bit. So
Yeah.
can I see quickly the room?
可唔可以睇下房？ You can leave it out if you don't like it.
Yeah. Last but not least, when you've got the room, you're going to want to ask them, what time is checkout?
幾點退房？
That has our word, to check out.
退房
We're just putting what time
幾點？
in front of it.
幾點退房？
What time do I check out?
幾點退房？
Okay. So a lot of really useful vocab there. Now, that's if you just show up at the hotel, though. If you want to book a hotel in advance, you're going to need to listen to our grammar section. It's grammar time. Our grammar point today is about how you book something. In this case, a hotel room.
訂房
In the dialogue, we heard this in this line.
我要訂房
I want to book a room.
我要訂房
I want to book.
我要訂
And you can add whatever you want to book after this.
That's right. Let's say you want to book a table. 我要訂台
I want to book a table.
我要訂台
Now, in our dialogue, we weren't very specific. We just wanted to book a room.
Yeah. 我要訂房
If you want to be more specific, you can say, I want to book a single room.
我要訂單人房
I want to book a standard room.
我要訂標準房
And if you're just back from Macau and you're flush with money, you want to book the presidential suite.
我要訂總統套房 You say it with pride.
Yes. I want to book the presidential suite.
我要訂總統套房
Right. So our keyword here is the verb to book
訂
or to order. So that's hotels. As we've already said, you can book a table at a restaurant too.
我要訂台
Here, you can also be more specific. You can book a table for one person.
我要訂單人台
Or, I want to book a table for two.
我要訂雙人台
It's exactly the same as hotel rooms. What if you're trying to book a table for six?
我要訂六人台
So we're saying one-person table, two-person table, six-person table.
Exactly.
Okay. So a really simple grammar point about booking tables and rooms. That brings us to the end of our lesson for today. But before we go, we want to tell you about a way to improve your pronunciation drastically.
Our voice recording tool.
Right, the voice recording tool.
You can record your voice with a click of a button,
and then play it back just as easily,
record and listen,
and then compare your voice to the native speakers.
and adjust your pronunciation.
Right. So that does it for today. As always, we hope you enjoyed it, and we hope to see you on the site. I'm David.
I'm Nicole.
Thanks a lot for listening. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
我要訂房，
咩房？
標準房，
幾間？
一間。
好。
Cantonese.
你好，香港、澳門、大陸。
Cantonese Class 101. Welcome to CantoneseClass101.com. I'm David,
大家好，我係 Nicole.
and we're here with Absolute Beginner Season 2, Lesson 12.
Jammed in Hong Kong.
Right, it's about a traffic jam.
It happens a lot.
It does happen a lot, especially if you need to cross over to the island from the mainland.
Yeah, it's
Going through the bridge. So we've got a dialogue that takes place at work.
and it's between colleagues.
Right, so they're speaking casual Cantonese as always.
That's right.
Now, in the dialogue, we're going to learn why someone's late. Before we get there, though, we want to remind you, we're getting a bit more difficult.
Yeah, we are.
So one of the really useful ways to keep up with us is getting your hands on these PDF transcripts.
Yeah.
We've mentioned it before. We'll mention it again. They are on the website, CantoneseClass101.com.
In the Premium Learning Center.
Right. You can download them and review this stuff right away. That said, let's get to the dialogue.
唔好意思，我遲到，
唔緊要，
塞車，真係對唔住。
唔緊要，我明。
One more time, a bit slower.
唔好意思，我遲到，
唔緊要，
塞車，真係對唔住。
唔緊要，我明。
And now, with the English translation.
唔好意思，我遲到。
Sorry, I'm late.
唔緊要。
It's okay.
塞車，真係對唔住。
There was a traffic jam. I'm really sorry.
唔緊要，我明。
It's okay. I understand. What an understanding boss.
No, it's between colleagues.
Okay, so, you
yeah.
were late too. That's okay. No problem. Yeah. So we've got a vocab section, which is going to be useful for you if you, like us, always arrive late or early.
Yeah, we'll
Let's-
provide you with excuses
Yes.
for being late.
Let's get to that.
遲到，
To arrive late.
遲到，遲到，早到，
To arrive early.
早到，早到，塞車，
Traffic jam.
塞車，塞車，瞓過籠，
To oversleep.
瞓過籠，瞓過籠，真係，
Really.
真係，真係，唔緊要，
It's okay.
唔緊要，唔緊要，明。
To understand.
明明
So our vocab section today is all about arriving late and arriving early.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are actually our first two words. To arrive late.
遲到
To arrive late.
遲到
What are the tones on that?
遲 is the lowest tone, fourth tone, flat, low. 遲
And then,
到 is a mid-level flat tone. 到
so low flat, mid flat.
遲到
So when you're late, you can say, sorry, I'm late.
唔好意思，我遲到。
Sorry, I'm late.
唔好意思，我遲到。
Our next word is to arrive early.
早到
To arrive early.
早到
And what are the tones on that?
早 is a high rising tone. 早 and it's followed by 到 mid-level flat tone.
Right.
早到 to arrive early.
Yeah. Now, before the podcast, I said you might want to say, sorry, I've arrived early.
唔好意思，我早到。
And Nicole was like, you would never say that.
Yeah, it never happens.
Well, so everyone in Hong Kong is always busy and running late.
I would assume so. At least we're punctual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you show up at a party, say, and you
Ah.
show up too early, you can say, sorry, I'm early.
唔好意思，我早到。
Right.
And they'll probably say,
Go
never.
away. Come back later. Yeah. Well, the third excuse you probably don't want to give, which is to oversleep.
瞓過籠，
To oversleep,
瞓過籠。
which is a real cause of tardiness.
Yeah.
So you can always say, sorry, I overslept.
唔好意思，我瞓過籠。
And we hope your honesty keeps you from being fired.
Yeah, let's hope so.
Yeah. So 3 really, really critical pieces of vocab today. First, to arrive late.
遲到，
Second, to arrive early.
早到，
And third, to oversleep.
瞓過籠。
Sorry, I'm late.
唔好意思，我遲到。
Sorry, I'm early.
對唔住，我早到。
Sorry, I overslept.
對唔住，我瞓過籠。
Since this lesson is all about being polite, in our grammar section for today, we're going to review a lot of really polite words and phrases.
That's right.
Let's get to it. It's grammar time. In our grammar section today, we're going to review a lot of really common words and phrases.
That's right. Starting with 對唔住，
Sorry,
對唔住，
sorry. We also have
唔好意思，
excuse me,
唔好意思。
excuse me.
That could be sorry too.
Yeah, depends on the situation.
Yeah.
Next is thank you.
唔該，
Thank you.
唔該，
And we've got 2 more.
唔使客氣，
You're welcome.
唔使客氣，
You're welcome.
唔緊要，
It's okay.
唔緊要。
It's okay. So these are all platitudes.
Yeah.
You know, by now we know them and we're used to tossing them out. But sometimes you really mean it. You really are sorry.
Yeah.
Or you really do want to say excuse me. And in our dialogue, we learned how to take these and really turn them up a notch. Listen to this line from the dialogue.
真係對唔住，
That's, I'm really sorry.
真係對唔住，
Literally, really, I'm sorry.
真係對唔住，
How are we saying really here?
真係，
Really.
真係。
And we can put anything after that.
Yeah.
Let's practice this with these polite phrases we've just covered.
Okay.
First, I'm really sorry.
真係對唔住，
I'm really sorry.
真係對唔住。
Next, you could say, really, excuse me.
真係唔好意思
And that really means I'm sorry too.
，Yeah， 真係唔好意思。
Thank you is,
唔該，
so you could say, really, thanks.
真係唔該晒，
Really, thanks.
真係唔該晒。 You notice the sigh in the end, because 唔該晒 means thank you as well.
Yeah,
And we've learned another way of saying thank you. That's 多謝. It's more
Right.
formal and
it's more
polite.
formal.
Yeah.
If you're using it in the stores, you should say this instead.
多謝，
Now, someone will probably answer,
唔使客氣，
which means you're welcome.
唔使客氣，
But if they really, really meant it, they could also say,
真係唔使客氣，
you are really welcome.
真係唔使客氣。
Our last polite phrase was,
唔緊要，
it's okay.
唔緊要，
To add really to this, say,
真係唔緊要，
it's really okay.
真係唔緊要。
Right. So in this lesson, we've covered a very simple way to take polite phrases and turn them up a notch. Add
真係，
at the very beginning. So that's our lesson for today. Before we go, we want to remind you. In this lesson, we touched on a couple of those tones in the vocab section. Normally we don't. One of the reasons we don't is all of this stuff is in the PDF.
That's right.
So if you're ever listening and you're wondering, what tone is that? Just download the PDFs and check it, and you'll know in a couple of seconds. With that, though, our time is up for today. I'm David.
我係 Nicole.
Thanks a lot for listening, and we'll see you on the site.
See you.
Bye-bye.
唔好意思，我遲到，
唔緊要，
塞車，真係對唔住。
唔緊要，我明。
Cantonese.
你好，香港、澳門、大陸。
Cantonese Class 101.
Welcome to CantoneseClass101.com. I'm David.
大家好，我係 Nicole.
And here we are with Absolute Beginner Season 2, Lesson 13.
Cash or card?
Right, Hong Kong is a shopping city.
Yeah.
And you've got tons of ways to pay.
Yeah.
The two big ones, of course, are cash or card.
Yes.
And so we're going to learn how to answer this question. Or if you're starting a business, how to ask it yourself.
Yeah.
So we've got a dialogue. We're going to take you there in a sec. Before we do, Nicole, there's something you wanted to tell people.
If you don't leave a comment, I'm gonna cry.
Nicole is getting very emotional. If you have any feedback or suggestions, leave a comment on the site or write her at
Contact us at CantoneseClass101.com.
right. And Nicole will get back to you. That being said, let's go to the dialogue.
埋單唔該，
現金定碌卡啊？
碌卡
好，
One more time, a bit slower.
埋單唔該，
現金定碌卡啊？
碌卡
好。
And now, with the English translation.
埋單唔該，
Bill, please.
現金定碌卡啊？
Cash or card?
碌卡，
Card.
好。
Okay. So, Nicole, this is the eternal question. Will it be cash or will it be charge?
I don't know, both, I guess.
You're like, cash, I wish I had a better credit card. Okay. Anyway, we've got a vocab section that is all about cash or charge. So let's get to that now. bill,
單單埋單
to pay the bill,
埋單埋單現金
cash,
現金現金信用卡
credit card,
信用卡信用卡碌卡
to swipe the card,
碌卡碌卡碌爆卡
to not be able to use the card,
碌爆卡碌爆卡散紙
change,
散紙散紙貼士
tips,
貼士貼士
We're going to focus on the vocab in a sec, but Nicole, first things first, who do you have to tip in Hong Kong?
I'll guess the waitress. In fancy restaurants only.
Yeah.
Not always.
And if there's a service charge, you don't need to.
That's right.
Right, because a lot of restaurants in Hong Kong will do that.
Yeah.
What about taxi drivers?
I don't tip them.
Okay.
But you're welcome to, I mean.
they like it when you do. You don't need to. Okay. Anyway, we've got a lot of new vocab here. First, obviously, is bill.
單
Bill.
單
And to order the bill, you say,
埋單
to pay the bill.
埋單 It's literally to bury the bill.
Yeah.
If you look at the PDF, you will see the character. It's
Yeah.
to bury the bill.
And they stole this in Chinese.
Yeah.
So now that you know this in Cantonese, if you cross into the mainland,
Yeah.
you can say this too.
埋單 is exactly the same sound.
Exactly the same sound. Now, next we've got cash.
現金
Cash.
現金
And credit card.
信用卡
Now, next we've got cash.
現金
Cash.
現金
And credit card.
信用卡
Credit card.
信用卡
We're going to come back to these in the grammar section. For now, though, we want to talk about two verb phrases that are really interesting.
Yeah.
The first is to swipe the card.
碌卡
To swipe the card.
碌卡
And I love this because of our second phrase. Nicole, what is this?
碌爆卡
One more time.
碌爆卡
This is lovely. It's literally swipe, explode the card.
Yeah, you swipe it and it explodes. 碌爆卡
And that means it's not working.
Yeah, it's out of credit. You
Yes.
can't use it.
Literally, you can't use it, but it's really suggestive. You swipe it and it explodes.
碌爆卡
Do you take cash?
可唔可以俾現金
So that's our vocab section. Our grammar point today is reviewing how to offer people choices.
It's grammar time.
In our grammar section today, we're reviewing how to offer people choices. If you'll remember, in an earlier lesson, we offered you the choice of going to a movie or seeing a play.
電影定話劇
Movie or play.
電影定話劇
And the key word there was
定
which means or.
定
In this lesson, we see this again in the phrase cash or card.
現金定碌卡啊
Cash or card.
現金定碌卡啊
Right. Before we go on, what's this at the end of the sentence?
It's a pronounced question mark in here. You can leave it out if you don't want. 現金定碌卡
Right. So the is optional. It just
That's right.
adds that tone, which one do you want? So you could also say movie or play.
電影定話劇啊？
Now, there's something a bit different about this choice compared to the ones we offered before.
That's right. The different types of words are
Right.
combined in one sentence.
Right. In our earlier lesson, we taught you to put the same kinds of words together, as in concert or movie.
演唱會定電影？
We also taught you how to put two verbs together. For instance, to eat or to watch a movie.
食飯定睇戲？
In this lesson, we have an unbalanced pair. We have one which is a noun
現金
and one which is technically a verb.
碌卡
Cash
現金
versus to swipe the card.
碌卡
This is more complex, but in Cantonese we can do this too.
That's right. 現金定碌卡 different types of words.
Right. We can even use adjectives, as in the sentence, good looking or bad looking.
好睇定唔好睇？
You can even use this with colors. For instance, red or white.
紅色定白色？
Right. So this lesson is mostly a review, but it's really important. Remember, if you're giving people a choice, the key word is,
定
and optionally, you can add this sound to the end of your sentence to make it feel like more of a question.
啊？
Will that be cash or charge?
現金定碌卡啊？
Right. So that just about does it for today. Now, we want to remind you,
Get instant access to all of our language learning lessons.
with any subscription level, you're instantly going to be able to listen to all of these lessons, as well as watch our video lessons too.
You can download the lessons or listen or watch it online.
Right. And that means you can watch them on your iPhone or your iPod or any other mobile device, which is a really convenient way to learn.
That's right.
So be sure to go check that out. If you haven't signed up yet, sign up and get a free 7-day trial. Okay? With that, thanks a lot for listening, and we hope to see you on the site. I'm Dave.
我係 Nicole.
Thanks a lot for listening.
See you.
Bye-bye.
埋單唔該，
現金定碌卡啊？
碌卡。
好。
Cantonese.
你好，香港、澳門、大陸。
Cantonese Class 101.
Hi, and welcome to CantoneseClass101.com, where we study modern Cantonese in a fun, educational format.
大家好，我係 Nicole. Thanks for being here with us today.
Right, and I'm David. And today we've got Absolute Beginner Season 2, Lesson 14.
Shopping in Hong Kong.
Right, this is a favorite lessons of Nicole's.
Yeah.
Right, she's like, let's do another shopping lesson. But this time, let's put everything on sale.
Well, I mean, Hong Kong is a shopping center.
It is.
Paradise.
It is a shopping paradise. So that's what our dialogue is about. It's about two shopaholics who are
Yes.
speaking casual Cantonese as always. who
And
discover-
exciting Cantonese.
Yes, excited because they discover this amazing sale.
Yeah.
So we've got this dialogue. We're going to take you to it. Before we do, we want to remind you, if you have not checked out the flashcards on CantoneseClass101.com, be sure to go check that out.
It helps you remember the words.
It does, and it only takes a few minutes after each lesson to really get the stuff sticking in your head.
That's right.
Okay? For now, though, let's go to the dialogue.
呢個商場打緊折，
打幾折？
最低3折。
咁平？一齊去啦！
One more time, a bit slower.
呢個商場打緊折，
打幾折？
最低3折。
咁平？ 一齊去啦。
And now, with the English translation.
呢個商場打緊折，
This store is having a sale.
打幾折？
What's the discount?
最低3折，
70% off at most.
咁平，一齊去啦！
That cheap? Let's go. So this is strange. In Hong Kong, it's not just stores that have sales.
Yeah, it can
It's like
happen in the mall.
The entire mall.
Yeah.
And that's actually in the dialogue. Is it the mall that's having the sale or the store that's having the sale?
It's the stores in the mall that's having the sales.
Yeah, so it's a bit ambiguous there. Anyway, we've got a lot of vocab, and we are going to clear this up for you. So why don't we get right to that?
商場
Mall,
商場商場打折
to be on sale.
打折打折折
Discount,
折折最
the most,
最最低
low,
低低高
high,
高高咁
so,
咁平
cheap,
平平貴
expensive,
貴貴
Let's take a closer look at some of these words and phrases. The first word we're going to look at is the word mall.
商場
Let's slow that down.
商場商場
In the dialogue, we heard it in this line.
呢個商場打緊折
This store is having a sale.
Yeah.
Although, is it a store? Is it a mall? It's a bit unclear.
Depends on the context.
Yeah, it may be the entire mall is having a sale.
Could be.
Right.
That would be really exciting.
So the next word is, of course, to be on sale.
打折
Let's slow that down.
打折打折
The Chinese way of saying things that are on sale is a bit different than in English.
Yeah,
You don't say how much is off. You say how much the price is on.
that's right.
So you'd say the price is 90%.
九折
The price is 80%.
八折
In our dialogue, the price is 30%.
三折
Yeah, 3 out of 10 ain't bad. And the word for discount is part of that verb.
折
So it's a 3 discount.
三折
To hit a 3 discount is to put something on at 30%.
打三折
Right. The rest of our vocab is common adjectives we're going to use a lot of the time. Low.
低
This price is very low.
價錢好低
High.
高
This price is very high.
價錢好高
And this corresponds to the words cheap
平
and expensive.
貴
This is very cheap.
呢個好平
This is too expensive.
呢個太貴
Now, most of this is review. In our grammar section, we're going to learn a new way to express extremes with adjectives.
That's right.
Let's get to that now.
It's grammar time.
Our focus in this grammar section is expressing extremes with adjectives. In the dialogue, we heard this.
最低3折，
70% off at most.
最低3折，
Let's dissect this sentence a bit. The last two characters we already know.
3折，
That's a 3 discount,
3折，
which means the price is 30% of the original,
3折，
or 70% off. What are those first two characters, though?
最低 lowest，
Right.
最低
Most, low. Now, we can use this with any adjective. For instance, most high,
最高
most expensive,
最貴
most cheap.
最平
Right. First, we put the adverb,
最
and then we add an adjective. For instance, July is the most hot.
7月最熱
July is the hottest month.
7月最熱
If you meet someone and want to compliment them, you might say, "You are the most beautiful."
最靚係你
You are the most beautiful.
最靚係你
Right. What's that again? Most beautiful.
最靚
Right.
It could be the best. It can be adjectives to describe cars or computers, laptops, anything.
Right. Your computer is the best.
你部電腦最靚
This apartment is the best.
呢間屋最靚
This room is the best.
呢間房最靚
Right. If you're still having trouble forming complete sentences, just remember the adverb plus the adjective.
That's right.
Most best.
最靚
Most cheap.
最平
Most expensive.
最貴
Most low.
最低
And most high.
最高
With these two words, you can communicate a lot of ideas. And that brings us to the end of our lesson today. As always, we want to remind you that Nicole is sitting here waiting for comments, waiting for email so she can get back to you. If you have any questions, if you're having trouble with other things in Cantonese and you're looking for advice, send us an email at
Contact us at CantoneseClass101.com.
and we will be delighted to get back to you. For now, though, thanks for listening. I'm David.
我係 Nicole.
We'll see you on the site.
See you.
呢個商場打緊折，
打幾折？
最低3折。
咁平？一齊去啦！
Cantonese.
你好，香港、澳門、大陸。
Cantonese Class 101.
Welcome to CantoneseClass101.com. I'm David.
大家好，我係 Nicole.
And here we are with Absolute Beginner Season 2, Lesson 15.
Opening a bank account in Hong Kong.
Right, this is an inspired title, we know, but you know what you're in for. Today we're going to teach you everything you need to know to open a bank account in Hong Kong.
That's right. And you also learn many bank words.
Right, because you can only carry so much cash through customs before they stop you. Right, so getting a bank account is important. So we've got a dialogue here which takes place, of course, in a bank.
Yeah,
And-
between a customer and
And a bank teller. Now, we're going to take you to the dialogue in a sec. But speaking of opening accounts, if you have not yet created a free account for yourself on CantoneseClass101.com, Nicole, how long does it take?
less than 5 seconds.
Right. We've
That's a
sped
new
things
record.
up. It's a new record. So get yourself a free account. It's really going to pay off. That being said, though, let's go to the dialogue.
我要開戶
可以幾錢？
10蚊，
10蚊，唔好意思，唔得。
點解？
開戶至少要100蚊。
One more time, a bit slower.
我要開戶。
可以幾錢
10蚊。
？10蚊，唔好意思，唔得。
點解？
開戶至少要100蚊。
And now, with the English translation.
我想開戶，
I want to start an account.
可以幾錢？
Sure. How much?
10蚊，
$10.
10蚊，唔好意思，唔得。
$10. I'm sorry. No.
點解？
What?
開戶至少要100蚊。
You need at least $100 to start an account. Nicole, what is your favorite bank in Hong Kong?
HSBC.
Oh, mine too.
Ah,
Yeah, I
the
love
service is great.
Service is great, and the main building downtown on Queens Road Central is fantastic.
Ah,
Yeah.
you've been there?
Oh, many times. It's worth going to. It's a beautiful, beautiful building. And the service is actually really good too.
Yeah.
So that's our recommendation.
HSBC has branches all over the world.
Yeah, best bank in Hong Kong. You heard it here from us. Anyway, we've got a lot of vocab about opening bank accounts. So let's get to that.
開戶，
To open an account.
開戶，開戶。點解？
Why?
點解？點解？至少，
At least.
至少，至少。銀行，
Bank.
銀行，銀行。櫃台，
Counter.
櫃台，櫃台。存錢，
To save money.
存錢，存錢。攞錢，
To take out money.
攞錢，攞錢。利息，
Interest.
利息，利息。
Let's have a closer look at the usage for some of these words and phrases. Our first word is, of course, to start an account.
開戶，
To start an account.
開戶。
Now in Hong Kong, they have minimum deposits, so you'll need to ask them, how much do I need to start an account?
開戶幾多錢？
That's literally, to start an account, how much money?
That's right. 開戶幾多錢？
And we hope you remember that from our previous lessons. How much money?
幾多錢？
To start an account, how much money?
開戶幾多錢？ When you want to ask how much, you can say 幾錢 and 幾多錢. Both ways works.
Right. Other key banking vocab here includes the word bank.
銀行，
Bank.
銀行。
If you're looking for a bank, you can ask, where is the bank?
銀行喺邊？
Where is the bank?
銀行喺邊？
Where is HSBC?
匯豐銀行喺邊？
So the next two words we want to focus on are saving money
存錢
and taking money out.
攞錢
Now, if you download our PDF, you'll be able to see the characters for this. And you'll need these when you're filling out the forms. For now, though, let's just practice saying, I want to deposit money.
我要存錢
I want to deposit money.
我要存錢
How about, I want to deposit $500.
我要存500蚊
I want to deposit $500.
我要存500蚊
Right, we just add the amount at the end of this verb. You do the same thing when you're withdrawing money. You can say, I want to withdraw money.
我要攞錢
I want to withdraw money, please.
我要攞錢唔該
Or,
唔該我要攞錢
and the second is probably preferable because you're going to need to tell them how much money. How about, excuse me, I'd like to take out $500.
唔該我要攞500蚊
Excuse me, I'd like to take out $500.
唔該我要攞500蚊
Now, you're probably going to want to deposit or take out more money. So let's practice those sentences with higher amounts. For instance, I want to deposit $2,000.
我要存2000蚊
I want to deposit $2,000.
我要存2000蚊
How about, I want to take out $2,000.
我要攞2000蚊
I want to take out $2,000.
我要攞2000蚊
So key vocab for this lesson. First, we have the word bank.
銀行
When you find a bank you like, you're going to want to open an account
開戶
so that you can save money
存錢
and take money out.
攞錢
With that, let's get to our grammar section.
It's grammar time.
In our grammar section today, we want to review a really simple grammar pattern. This is the pattern of asking people where things are.
喺邊
In our vocab section, we reviewed the phrase, where is the bank?
銀行喺邊
If you remember, we're putting the object that we're looking for first.
銀行
Bank,
銀行
bank.
銀行喺邊
Where is the bank?
銀行喺邊
Right. In addition to a bank, you may also find yourself looking for an ATM.
櫃員機 But in Hong Kong, people just say ATM.
Right. So you can say,
ATM 喺邊
where is the ATM?
ATM 喺邊
Or if you really want to stretch your Cantonese, you can try that all in Cantonese.
櫃員機喺邊
Where is the ATM?
櫃員機喺邊
Now, when you go to HSBC, they've got a lot of local branches, but the big branch is huge. So you may need to ask them where certain divisions in the bank are. For instance, where is customer service?
客戶服務喺邊
Where is customer service?
客戶服務喺邊
Right. They also tend to separate business and individual banking. So if you're there on business, you can say, where is the business counter?
企業窗口喺邊
Where is the business counter?
企業窗口喺邊
You may need to ask them, where is business banking?
公司櫃台喺邊
Where is corporate banking?
企業櫃台喺邊
The answer is that it's downstairs.
樓下
The second thing you're going to need to look for is individual banking, or personal banking.
個人櫃台喺邊？
That's a long one. Let's try it again. Where is personal banking?
個人櫃台喺邊？
Right. A lot of the words we've covered in this lesson are specific to banks, so you may not need to remember them all. However, the important thing to take home is this sentence pattern.
喺邊？
As in the sentence, where is the bank?
銀行喺邊？
Where is the ATM?
櫃員機喺邊？
Right. So you can take any noun and drop it in that pattern. This has been a review lesson, so we hope this isn't totally new to you. Next week, we're going to come at you with a completely new grammar point and some more great vocab. Before we do that though, Nicole, there's something you wanted to say.
There's a very powerful tool on our site,
Right. It is a powerful tool for listening comprehension.
the line-by-line audio.
Right. If you go into the Premium Learning Center, you can click to listen to our dialogues over and over again,
That's right.
line by line. This is a great way to break dialogues into bite-sized sentences and understand them.
Yeah.
For now, though, I'm David.
我係 Nicole.
Thanks a lot for listening, and we hope you're enjoying the site.
See you.
Bye-bye.
我要開戶
可以幾錢？
10蚊，
10蚊？唔好意思，唔得。
點解？
開戶至少要100蚊。
Cantonese.
你好，香港、澳門、大陸。
Cantonese Class 101.
Welcome to CantoneseClass101.com. I'm David.
大家好，我係 Nicole.
And welcome to Absolute Beginner Season 2, Lesson 16.
Paying phone bills in Hong Kong.
Right, you still have to pay them in Hong Kong.
Too bad.
Yeah. So we've got a dialogue here that's between two friends. So they're not actually paying the phone bill, but they're going to talk about it.
That's right.
And because they're friends, they're speaking casual Cantonese as always.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Now, we're going to take you to the dialogue in a sec. Before we do, we want to remind you we have these great dialogue-only recordings on CantoneseClass101.com.
Yeah,
Download these to your iPod. It's a really quick way to review.
it really helps.
Yeah. With that, let's go to the dialogue.
你電話打唔通，
係咩？
要交電話費啦。
咩係電話費啊？
Once more, a bit slower.
你電話打唔通，
係咩？
要交電話費啦。
咩係電話費啊？
And now, with the English translation.
你電話打唔通，
I couldn't reach you by phone.
係咩？
Really?
要交電話費啦。
You should pay your phone bill.
咩係電話費啊？
What's a phone bill? I've been guilty of this.
Why?
Not knowing what a phone bill is, but just, letting it go for a while.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the person in the dialogue just do the same thing.
Yeah, okay. Well, we've got a vocab section here, which is all about phones and recharging them and phone bills. So you are going to need to use this stuff. Let's get right to the vocab section.
All right. 打
To dial.
打打電話
Telephone.
電 話電話通
To get through.
通短信
Text message.
短信留言
To leave a message.
留言電話費
Phone bill.
電話費交
To pay.
交
Let's take a closer look at some of these words and phrases.
All right. The first word we want to look at is 打
To dial.
打
And of course, what you're dialing is a telephone.
電話
Telephone.
電話
So literally, actually, this is to hit the telephone.
Exactly.
Right?
Because that's what you do.
Yeah.
Hit the numbers.
Yeah. So to hit the telephone.
打電話
To dial the telephone.
打電話
I need to dial the telephone.
我要打電話
Give me a telephone call.
打電話俾我
That's a really useful one.
Let's hear it one more time. 打電話俾我
Give me a telephone call. So you can give someone your number and you can say this,
打電話俾我
and hopefully they'll call you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Assuming that you have paid your telephone bill.
電話費
Telephone bill.
電話費
Just like in English, we have the word for telephone
電話
and then the word for expense or fee.
費
And that's an English language loanword, isn't it?
Yeah.
It comes from English, so easy to remember.
I'm not sure about that, but yeah.
Yeah, I think it does. So that's telephone bill.
電話費
And Nicole, there's a point you want to make about the word telephone.
Yeah. In oral Cantonese, 電話 can mean both telephone and cell phone.
Yeah. Is there a special word for cell phone?
Yes, there is. 手提電話 hand-carried telephone.
Right. So that's a hand-style phone.
Yeah. 手提電話 Or you can say 手機
Cell phone.
手提電話
Or,
手機
right. Now, when you dial someone a number and you don't get through, you might be asked to leave a message.
留言
Leave a message.
留言
Leave a message after the beep.
Beep 一聲之後留言
Leave a message after the beep.
Beep 一聲之後留言
And anyone who is asking you to do that in Hong Kong is toying with you because they are always carrying their cell phones,
That's right.
right? So if someone does that, you know they're playing with you. If you do need to get in touch, though, you can also send them a text message.
短信
Text message.
短信
Nicole is always text messaging.
Yeah, it's fun.
So if you meet someone, you can say, hey, text me.
發短信俾我
And that's literally issue a text message
Yeah,
to give to me.
or send text message to me. 發短信俾我
That sentence is really close to something we already learned. Let's hear that again with Give me a telephone call.
打電話俾我，
Send me a text message.
發短信俾我，
So the last two sounds, for me, don't change.
俾我。
We're just changing the verb object.
It's either 打電話 or 發短信。
Right. Give me a call.
打電話俾我，
Send me a text message.
發短信俾我。
And that brings us to the end of our vocab section. In the grammar section, we're going to take a closer look at one of the trickier verbs in this dialogue.
It's grammar time.
Our grammar focus today is on a fairly tricky verb construction.
Yeah, it's a bit difficult.
Right. And it comes from this line in the dialogue.
你電話打唔通，
I couldn't reach you by phone.
你電話打唔通，
Or literally, it's your telephone
你電話
would not connect through.
打唔通，
Let's hear that verb again. Would not connect.
打唔通。
Right. Nicole, what's going on?
Well, this is a very useful structure. We have the verb 打 and then the negation and then the adjective 通。
Right. Sometimes it's an adjective, sometimes it will be a verb at the end.
Yeah,
But when you see this, it's actually one verb unit.
that's right.
It's saying to dial, but the result of this is that it does not go through in this case.
Exactly. So it says something about the action and then it mentioned the result of it.
Yes. So it's technically known as a resultative verb complement.
Exactly.
And here we're seeing it in the negative. In the case of to dial, but not to go through.
打唔通。
This is a really common verb structure in Cantonese.
That's right.
We're going to give you a couple more examples, although as always, we encourage you to check out the details in our premium PDF.
Mhm.
More examples though, you could say, can't get done,
做唔晒。
not to be able to finish,
That's right. 做唔晒。
or what if you go to a fancy restaurant and they serve you these really small dishes
That's right.
and you order 10 of them, but you still can't get full?
Oh, I hate it.
You might complain,
食唔飽。
I can't eat full.
食唔飽。 So we have the word eat, 食, and then the negation, and then full, 飽. Together we have 食唔飽.
Right. If you like going to bars instead, you might find some places in Hong Kong that will water down the drinks. In which case,
Yeah, it might happen.
you might be saying something else.
飲唔醉。
Can't get drunk.
飲唔醉。
Can't get drunk. And again, it's the same pattern. We have the verb,
飲
which means to drink, and then the negation,
唔
and then the verb or adjective that tells us the result.
醉。
Can't get drunk.
飲唔醉。
So all of these verbs are simple variations on the pattern we see in our dialogue.
你電話打唔通。
Now, in a later lesson, we're going to cover how to do the same thing in a positive sense.
That's right.
For now, though, just pay attention to how this works in the negative. Will not go through.
打唔通。
Can't get done.
做唔晒。
Can't eat full.
食唔飽。
Can't get drunk.
飲唔醉。
And that's our grammar point for this lesson. Before we go, we want to remind all of our iPhone, iPod, and iPad users.
Listen, tap, and swipe your way to fluency with our Cantonese language apps.
Right. We've got a bunch of Cantonese apps on the iTunes Store you can use to study on the go.
They're fun and easy to use. Just visit our iPhone page on CantoneseClass101.com to learn more about it.
And that's it for today. I'm David.
I'm Nicole.
Thanks a lot for listening, and we hope to see you on the site.
See you.
你電話打唔通，
係咩？
要交電話費啦。
咩係電話費啊？
Cantonese.
你好，香港、澳門、大陸。
Cantonese Class 101.
Welcome to CantoneseClass101.com. I'm David.
大家好，我係 Nicole.
And here we are with Absolute Beginner, Season 2, Lesson 17.
Recharging phones in Cantonese.
Right. In our last lesson, we covered how to pay the phone bill.
Now we charge them.
Yeah, because you've got to keep it fully charged too, especially at the rate with which people like Nicole will use them. Always texting, always dialing.
Live in a modern world.
Anyway, we've got a dialogue that also lives in the modern world, and we're going to get to that in a sec. We've got all of these great iPod and iPad and iPhone apps you can download from iTunes.
That's right. They're very fun and easy to use.
Yeah, and it will let you study on the go. So if you've got an iPad or an iPhone, be sure to check that out. Now, though, let's get to the dialogue.
電話冇錢，
充值啦，
仲冇電。
叉電啦，
Once more, a bit slower.
電話冇錢，
充值啦，
仲冇電。
叉電啦。
And now, with the English translation.
電話冇錢，
My phone is out of credit.
充值啦，
Top it up.
仲冇電，
Its battery is also dead.
叉電啦。
Charge it. Nicole, you hear this a lot,
I do.
right? It's
It
'cause-
happens a lot.
Yes, it's because you were always using your phone.
Well, I guess it happens to everybody nowadays.
It happens to everyone in Hong Kong because everyone in
Yeah.
Hong Kong is constantly using their phone.
They said it caused cancer. I don't believe it though.
You wouldn't. But anyway, we've got key vocab, which you're going to use if you need to recharge your phone with either
Right.
cash or power. So
Right.
let's get to that.
電話，
Telephone,
電話，電話，充值，
to top up,
充值，充值，電池，
battery,
電池，電池，仲，
even more,
仲，電，
electricity,
電，叉電，
to charge,
叉電，充值卡，
a recharge card,
充值卡，充值卡，充電器，
recharger,
充電器，充電器。
So our vocab today is about adding power and adding money to your phone, especially if you live in Hong Kong.
Mm-hmm.
So our first word is a review word, and that's telephone.
電話
Telephone.
電話
Give me a telephone call.
打電話俾我
Give me a telephone call.
打電話俾我
And that's probably what happened before this dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
And then they realized, wait a minute, the phone is out of money and out of power.
Yeah, can't get through.
Yeah. So we've got a bunch of words here for topping it up. The first is to add money.
充值
To add money.
充值
So how do you say refill a phone?
電話充值
To refill a phone.
電話充值
I want to refill my phone.
我要電話充值
I want to refill my phone.
我要電話充值
So that's going to add money.
That's right.
Power is a bit trickier.
Mm-hmm.
And we've got the word for power in this dialogue.
電
Power,
電
or electricity.
That's right.
Right. And this character is really fun too, because it's a picture of the clouds and then lightning is coming down from them.
Exactly.
So that's electricity.
電
And that word also gives us the word for battery.
電池
Battery.
電池
And that word literally means a pool of electricity,
Exactly.
right? So storing up the thunder and lightning.
電池
Right. Now, to charge a phone, you have to do this,
叉電
which means to add power.
叉電 The character 叉 comes from English. 叉 sounds a bit like charge. So 叉電 is to charge your phone.
Doesn't sound that much like charge.
Well, to us Cantonese ears, it does.
Okay. And we've got two more words that are key. And when you're shopping, you can ask for these. The first is a recharge card.
充值卡
A recharge card.
充值卡
You scratch off the back, you put the number in your phone, and you've added money to it.
That's right.
The second is a power charger.
充電器
Power charger.
充電器
So these are two of the most important words. You
Yeah.
can go into a convenience store and you can say, I need a recharge card.
我要充值卡
Or, I need a power charger.
我要充電器
And they will be able to help you out.
Yeah. And if you want to ask for a 100 Hong Kong dollar recharge card, you can say 我要100蚊充值卡
Right. Put the amount of money in front of the word.
充值卡
And that brings us to the end of our vocab section. Let's move on to our grammar point.
It's grammar time.
Our grammar point is covering this character.
仲
This means even more.
仲
We use this when we're talking about two situations.
That's right.
A is true, and even more, B is true.
Mm-hmm.
In the dialogue, we heard it like this.
電話冇錢仲冇電
First, we had the subject, the telephone.
電話
Then we had A.
冇錢
Even more,
仲
B.
冇電
It doesn't have money.
冇錢
Even more,
仲
it doesn't have power.
冇電
Let's hear that full sentence again.
電話冇錢仲冇電
Right. So in this case, we're stressing that B is even worse than A.
That's right. Or in some cases, it could be even better.
Let's have some more examples.
佢識唱歌，仲識跳舞。
She can sing, and even more, she can dance.
佢識唱歌，仲識跳舞。
Now, if you've just moved to Hong Kong and are poor, you might say this next sentence.
我冇樓，仲冇車。
I have no houses and no car.
我冇樓，仲冇車。I can't decide which situation is worse. What's
Right.
your opinion, David?
I think this stings a bit close to home. So let's hear that again. I have no houses and no cars.
我冇樓，仲冇車。
Right. In all of those cases, we've been chaining together verb phrases. Here, in our next sentence, we can also chain together adjectives.
天氣熱，仲曬。
We've heard all of these words before. Nicole, say that again and let's see if we can understand it.
天氣熱，仲曬。
We have the weather,
天氣
that's hot,
熱，
and also
仲
too sunny.
曬。
It's hot and too sunny.
天氣熱，仲曬。
Our last example comes right out of the Hong Kong film industry.
佢係演員，仲係導演。
He's an actor and even more, a director.
佢係演員，仲係導演。
He's an actor and even more, a director.
Stephen Chow.
You like Stephen Chow.
Who doesn't? Oh, you don't?
No, I like him too. He's great. So that's our point for today. We've got a really, really simple grammar structure. You can put your subject at the beginning and then separate two verb or adjectives with
仲
to stress that not only A, but even more B.
That's right.
My phone is out of money, and even more, it's out of power.
電話冇錢，仲冇電。
So that just about does it for today. Now, before you go, we want to remind you, if you are ever pressed for time, this is going to come in really handy.
That's right. Listen to the dialogue lesson recap.
These audio tracks are available only to premium subscribers, and they contain only the lesson dialogue.
So go to CantoneseClass101.com and sign up for a premium account.
Great. And with that, that's our lesson for today. As always, we hope to hear from you, and if you have any questions, leave a note on the site.
That's right.
I'm David.
I'm Nicole.
Thanks a lot for listening, and we'll see you later.
See you.
Bye-bye.
電話冇錢，
充值啦，
仲冇電。
叉電啦。
Cantonese.
你好，香港、澳門、大陸。
Cantonese Class 101.
Welcome to CantoneseClass101.com. I'm David,
大家好，我係 Nicole.
and we're here with Absolute Beginner Season 2, Lesson 18.
The Cantonese Loan Shark.
Right. We've got a lesson here about Richard Branson
Yeah.
and the famed Cantonese-speaking Richard Branson.
He speaks Cantonese?
In our dialogue, he speaks Cantonese.
All right.
We don't know about real life, but if Richard Branson spoke Cantonese and he was with a friend and they were speaking casual Cantonese, this is what it would sound like.
That's right.
Okay? So we're going to take you to the dialogue in a sec. Before we do, we want to remind you we've got flashcards for this lesson on CantoneseClass101.com.
Just visit the Premium Learning Center and you can be studying the flashcards in a second.
Right. And it's really going to help you make this new vocab stick.
That's right.
Let's get to the dialogue.
我想借1萬，
冇問題，
我係話美金，
我係話英鎊。
Once more, a bit slower.
我想借1萬。
冇問題。
我係話美金。
我係話英鎊。
And now, with the English translation.
我想借1萬，
I want to borrow 10,000.
冇問題。
No problem.
我係話美金，
I meant US dollars.
我係話英鎊。
I meant British pounds. Because Richard Branson is rich.
Yeah,
US dollars, British pounds, same thing.
he doesn't care.
Yes, money like wine. So we've actually got an easier dialogue today
Yeah,
compared to our last few, especially compared to the grammar point in the last lesson.
that's right.
Okay, so we're giving you guys a break, but we still have a lot of really useful vocab.
About currencies.
Right, so let's get to it.
借
To borrow,
借借美金
US dollar,
美金美金英鎊
British pound,
英鎊英鎊港紙
Hong Kong dollar,
港紙港紙人民幣
Chinese renminbi,
人民幣人民幣日元
Japanese yen,
日元日元係話
meant to say,
係話係話
Let's take a closer look at the usage for some of these words and phrases.
All right.
Our first word is to borrow.
借
To borrow.
借
In the dialogue, we heard this in the following sentence.
我想借1萬，
I want to borrow 10,000.
我想借1萬。
But this isn't just borrow.
Yeah, it could be lend.
It could be, I need to get rid of this $10,000. Who can I find to take this off my hands?
Yeah, it could
Okay.
mean that.
Yeah. So 2 words, the same pronunciation, totally different meanings. To borrow,
借
to lend.
借 But if you're lending money to someone else, you would want to use 借俾
Which is to lend to.
借俾
So you can usually tell these apart in context.
That's right.
Also, because no one really asks you to borrow money from them. Not often. Anyway, the rest of our vocab today is really the names of currencies.
That's right.
We can't do them all, but we've picked the top 5. First, US dollar.
美金
US dollar.
美金
And that second character there
金
literally means gold.
That's right. 金
Right. So it's US gold. Next, we've got the pound.
英鎊
British pound.
英鎊
One of the reasons we picked these currencies is because they each have a different last character.
That's right. In the pound, we have 鎊
And that literally means pound.
Yeah. It could refers to the weight
or the
or
currency.
Yes.
Right. Our next example shows what Hong Kong people think of their own currency.
港紙
We've got Hong Kong there,
港
and then the word for paper,
紙
Hong Kong dollar.
港紙 We treat money like paper.
Right. Although I love the Hong Kong currency. It's so colorful. And all of the banks issue it, actually.
We make fun of it though.
Right. Our next example is the Chinese renminbi.
人民幣
The Chinese renminbi.
人民幣
And that last sound
幣
literally means a coin or a hard note.
That's right. 幣
Our final example is the Japanese yen.
日元
Japanese yen.
日元
What's the last character there?
元
Normally, this also means dollar.
That's right.
So, in addition to hearing people say,
美金
you'll also hear them say,
美元
right.
Mm-hmm.
And that would mean US dollar.
Yeah.
It's a bit less descriptive.
Yeah. Let's hear both of them again.
Okay.
美金美元
So, 5 different currencies. The US dollar,
美金
the UK pound,
英鎊
the Hong Kong paper,
Hong Kong dollar 港紙
the Chinese renminbi,
人民幣
and the Japanese yen.
日元
With this, you should be set to start changing money and doing international banking.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And with that, let's get to our grammar section.
It's grammar time.
Our grammar point today is really useful
That's right.
because if you are anything like me, when you're learning Cantonese, you are going to make mistakes. You are going to make lots of mistakes.
Yeah, it happens to me too.
Yeah. And you're going to need to restate what you said. Say, well, actually, what I meant was this. And that's what we're going to cover in today's grammar point.
That's right.
In the dialogue, we had this sentence.
我係話美金
I meant US dollars.
我係話美金
And to this, our Richard Branson responded,
我係話英鎊
I meant British pounds.
我係話英鎊
Our key word here is
係話
meant to say.
係話
That's literally to be and then to say.
Yeah, 係 and then 話
But we're using it here to say, well, what I really meant was. For instance, if you meet someone for the first time and you really want their number, but it stumbles out the wrong way,
Yeah,
you can always say,
我係話你好靚
I meant to say, you are really beautiful.
Yeah, that sounds sweet actually. 我係話你好靚
I meant you are really beautiful. On a different topic, you could be in a meeting and things could be going horribly wrong, at which point you can toss out this.
佢係話係佢唔啱
He meant it's him that's wrong.
佢係話係佢唔啱
He meant it was him that's wrong. That's a tricky one. Our next example is also a bit tricky, but it shows how you can use this to clarify things.
That's right. 我係話聽日開會
I meant to say we'd have a meeting tomorrow.
我係話聽日開會
I meant to say tomorrow to have a meeting.
That's right. You're emphasizing tomorrow, 聽日
So to use this, put it at the start of any sentence. I meant to say.
我係話
I meant to say it's no problem.
我係話冇問題
I meant to say I'm sorry.
我係話對唔住
I meant to say, you are really beautiful.
我係話你好靚。
A really simple point, but one that's really useful as well. And with that, that's our grammar point for today. Before we go, we want to remind you that there's nothing like a little competition.
Even against yourself.
Right. So you can test what you've learned in this lesson with our fun review quizzes,
Master vocabulary and grammar.
with our short, challenging quizzes. And you can find these on the lessons page at CantoneseClass101.com.
That's right.
That's it for us for today. Thanks a lot for listening as always. I'm David,
我係 Nicole.
and we'll see you on the site.
See you.
Bye bye.
我想借1萬，
冇問題。
我係話美金。
我係話英鎊。
Cantonese.
你好，香港、澳門、大陸。
Cantonese Class 101.
Welcome to CantoneseClass101.com. I'm David,
大家好，我係 Nicole.
and we're here today with Absolute Beginner Season 2, Lesson 19.
No smoking.
Right. And regardless of whether you smoke or not, this is an important lesson.
Yeah, you learn important useful phrases.
Yeah, like how to tell people that you want a smoking seat or a non-smoking seat.
That's right.
Right? So we've got a dialogue that's between a smoker and serving staff at a restaurant,
And they're speaking casual Cantonese.
as always. Now, we're going to take you to our dialogue. Before we do, we want to remind you we've got premium PDFs up on the site for you to download.
Sign up for a premium subscription.
And you'll get access to all of these, the transcripts, the vocab, the grammar point, everything else. It's really going to help you learn Cantonese. And
That's
it's
right.
better than a textbook.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? With that, though, let's get to the dialogue.
呢度可唔可以食煙？
唔好意思，唔可以。
邊度可以？
出邊
Once more, a bit slower.
呢度可唔可以食煙？
唔好意思，唔可以。
邊度可以？
出邊
And now, with the English translation.
呢度可唔可以食煙？
Is smoking allowed here?
唔好意思，唔可以。
Sorry, it isn't.
邊度可以？
Where can I?
出邊。
Outside. So, Nicole, you're not a smoker.
No.
Yeah, and Hong Kong has banned public smoking.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
Yeah, it's a really fit society. But regardless of if you smoke or you don't smoke, you need to know this vocab. So let's get to it.
煙
Cigarette,
煙煙食煙
to smoke,
食煙食煙邊度
where,
邊度邊度出邊
outside,
出邊出邊入邊
inside,
入邊入邊打火機
lighter,
打火機打火機煙灰缸
ashtray,
煙灰缸煙灰缸雪茄
cigar,
雪茄雪茄
Let's take a closer look at some of these words and phrases. Our first word is smoke or cigarette.
煙
Cigarette.
煙
And that literally means smoke.
That's right.
And so the word to smoke is literally to eat smoke.
yeah 食煙
To eat smoke.
食煙
If you are a smoker, you can ask, can I smoke?
可唔可以食煙
Or maybe even, please, can I smoke?
唔該，我可唔可以食煙
They're probably going to tell you, smoke outside.
出邊食煙
Smoke outside.
出邊食煙
Although in some places, they have ventilated rooms.
Yeah
And they'll say, smoke inside.
入邊食煙
Smoke inside.
入邊食煙
And that introduces two opposite words for us, which are new.
出邊 and 入邊
Outside,
出邊
inside.
入邊 And you sometimes hear people say 出面 and 入面 They're almost the same.
Let's hear those again. The two ways of saying outside.
出邊出面
And the two ways of saying inside.
入邊入面
Which one is more colloquial?
I would say 出邊
Okay, with a B sound.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Our next three words are all words that you're going to use if you smoke. That's a lighter,
打火機
lighter.
打火機
Do you have a lighter?
有冇打火機
Do you have a lighter?
有冇打火機
And you can't get away with this in many restaurants, but you might find a place where you need to ask for an ashtray.
煙灰缸
Ashtray.
煙灰缸
That's literally a smoke ash container.
Exactly. 煙灰缸
Do you have an ashtray?
有冇煙灰缸
And even though smoking is outlawed in many public places, there are still occasions where people will celebrate with a cigar.
雪茄
A cigar.
雪茄
Do you want a cigar?
要唔要雪茄
Do you want a cigar?
要唔要雪茄
So that's our key smoking vocab. First, we have the word cigarette or smoke.
煙
Then the verb to eat smoke.
食煙 And you can also say 食雪茄
To smoke a cigar.
食雪茄
We have the words outside,
出邊 or 出面
and the words inside.
入邊 or 入面
And finally, we have lighter,
打火機
ashtray,
煙灰缸
and cigar.
雪茄
And with that, let's get to our grammar section.
It's grammar time.
Our grammar focus this lesson is the difference between two really easy questions concerning where can you do something. In the dialogue, we heard this line.
邊度可以
That's literally where can.
邊度可以
And here it meant, where can I smoke?
邊度可以食煙
But you don't need to say,
邊度
You could also say,
邊
for example, where can?
邊可以
Where can I smoke?
邊可以食煙
So we've got two ways of saying where.
邊度 and 邊
Nicole, what's the difference?
In most occasions, they are interchangeable, but 邊度 is more formal than 邊.
Okay. So if you're walking around Hong Kong,
Mhm.
you should usually say,
邊.
it's shorter, it's easier, and
That's
it's what
right.
people are used to.
Yeah,
But when you're on the subway, when you're listening to public announcements, you're going to hear
邊度.
because it's a bit more formal and maybe even a bit more polite.
That's right.
Okay? Let's practice this by going over some very simple sentences. Where to go?
去邊
Or
去邊度
where do you live?
你住邊
Or
你住邊度
where are you?
你哋喺邊
Or
你哋喺邊度
although if you're walking lost around Hong Kong, you're going to want to reverse that and make it where am I?
Yeah, 我喺邊 or 我喺邊度
So to review, there are two ways of saying where. The first is more colloquial.
邊
The second is politer and a bit more formal.
邊度
And that just about does it for today. Now, Nicole, there's something you wanted to remind people about leaving comments.
Yeah. If you have a comment or have questions about Cantonese or about our lesson, please come to our website, CantoneseClass101.com, and leave us a comment.
Right. Nicole is reading them every day, and she also takes suggestions.
Yeah.
So if there's something you'd like to learn that we haven't covered, just say, Nicole, I want to learn this.
Mhm.
Okay? So that's it for today. Thanks for listening. I'm David,
我係 Nicole.
and we look forward to seeing you on the site.
See you.
Bye-bye.
呢度可唔可以食煙？
唔好意思，唔可以。
邊度可以？
出邊
Cantonese.
你好，香港、澳門、大陸。
Cantonese Class 101.
Welcome to CantoneseClass101.com. I'm David,
大家好，我係 Nicole.
and we're here with Absolute Beginner Season 2, Lesson 20.
Hong Kong Telecom.
Right. This is a lesson all about something that can happen in Hong Kong that won't happen elsewhere.
So it's happened in Hong Kong only?
In this case,
I didn't know that.
In this case, this will only happen in Hong Kong. Maybe we can generalize to elsewhere, but we've got a dialogue here that takes place between two friends.
And they're speaking casual Cantonese as always.
Right. And one of the friends is wondering, why have you been out of touch?
Yeah, why?
So it's a mystery. We're going to find out the answer. But before we do, we want to remind you, if you head to our Premium Learning Center, we've got this fantastic voice recording tool.
Yeah, you can click the button and record your voice.
And then play it back and compare how you sound to our native speakers.
Mm-hmm.
This is a great way to figure out how your pronunciation and accent is coming along.
Yeah, it's a great way to improve your pronunciation.
Right. With that said, let's get to the dialogue.
點解唔接我電話？
冇信號，
點解冇信號？
過緊海底隧道。
One more time, a bit slower.
點解唔接我電話？
冇信號，
點解冇信號？
過緊海底隧道。
And now, with the English translation.
點解唔接我電話？
Why didn't you pick up my call?
冇信號。
There was no signal.
點解冇信號？
Why wasn't there any signal?
過緊海底隧道。
I was going through the Cross Harbor Tunnel. I told you this could only happen in Hong Kong.
Really?
Who else has a Cross Harbor Tunnel?
Yeah.
We don't have a strong theme for our vocab section today,
No,
but we do have a lot of useful words, some of which are review.
that's right.
So we're just going to get to it right away.
點解？
Why?
點解？點解？接
To answer.
接接信號
Signal.
信號信號過
To go through.
過隧道
Tunnel.
隧道海底隧道
Cross Harbor Tunnel.
海底隧道海底隧道紅磡隧道
Hong Hum Tunnel.
紅磡隧道紅磡隧道
Let's take a closer look at some of the words and phrases in today's vocabulary.
Alright, the first word is 點解
Why?
點解
In the dialogue, we heard that in this sentence.
點解唔接我電話
Why didn't you pick up my call?
點解唔接我電話
You might also want to ask someone, why didn't you call?
點解唔打我電話
Why didn't you call?
點解唔打我電話
Or maybe more simply, why didn't you ask?
點解唔問
Why didn't you ask?
點解唔問
So we're putting this at the start of a sentence.
Yeah, just like the English.
Our second word is,
接
we translated this as to answer,
接
but it's really to connect or to receive.
Yeah, or to catch.
Yeah.
接
You also use this to meet someone at the airport.
接人 to pick up someone.
Right. So although we say to answer, it's not to answer a question. For that, you want to say,
答
so you can say to answer a call,
接電話
to answer a question.
答問題
Why didn't you answer my call?
點解唔接我電話
Why didn't you answer my question?
點解唔答我問題
Right. We've got the word for signal here.
信號
We're just highlighting this because of an earlier word we covered, SMS.
短信
Let's hear those two together.
短信信號
They're related. They share one of the same characters,
信
which literally means letter.
Yeah,
So this is literally letter number,
信號
the signal.
信號
If you're walking around Hong Kong, you might find some areas where the signal is good
信號好強
and other areas where the signal is weak.
信號好弱
So if someone calls you, so as in this dialogue, you might not be able to answer because the signal's weak.
Yeah,
When that happens, you're going to want to apologize to someone. I'm sorry, the The signal was weak.
對唔住，信號好弱。
I couldn't answer.
Or like in the dialogue, there's no signal at all. 冇信號，
Right. There's no signal.
冇信號。
Our last two words are Hong Kong landmarks.
Yeah.
First, we've got the Cross Harbor Tunnel.
海底隧道，
Cross Harbor Tunnel.
海底隧道。
If you're on the island and you say that, a taxi driver will take you to the mainland.
That's right.
If you're on the mainland and you say that, they'll take you to the island. Cross Harbor Tunnel.
海底隧道，
Our second tunnel is,
紅磡隧道。
right, and we translated that as the Hong Hum Tunnel.
Yeah,
Really, it's the same thing.
it's the same thing.
Okay,
Cross Harbor
it's-
Tunnel.
It's just a different name for it.
Mhm.
So you can ask for it by one of two names,
海底隧道，
or,
紅磡隧道。
so there's no excuse for not getting yourself to the island now.
That's right.
And with that, let's get on to our grammar point.
It's grammar time.
We're already on lesson 20, so our grammar point is going to be a little bit tricky,
Just a little bit.
right? But you guys can handle it. It's the difference between the present tense and the past tense when you're negating something.
That's right.
In the dialogue, we heard this line.
點解唔接我電話？
We translated this as, why didn't you answer my call? But really it means, why aren't you answering my call?
Yeah, it's more of like present tense.
Yeah. Now the key verb in that sentence is
接
to answer. And we're negating it with
唔
together, that's
唔接
not to answer.
唔接。
Not to answer. And
Yeah.
that's the present tense.
Mhm.
So really they're saying, why aren't you answering my call?
That's right.
I keep calling you, you don't pick up. Why aren't you answering my calls?
Yeah, because he's crossing the Cross Harbor Tunnel.
Right. And that's where the past tense comes in. If you want to explicitly put a verb in the past tense, you don't use,
唔
you use
冇
didn't answer.
冇接
Okay. This is a bit tricky. Let's practice with a few really simple verbs. The verb to go,
去
not to go.
唔去
I do not go.
我唔去
I didn't go.
我冇去
How about the sentence, they eat?
佢哋食
In the negative, that's they don't eat.
佢哋唔食
And in the past tense,
佢哋冇食
drink. I don't drink.
我唔飲
I didn't drink.
我冇飲
Let's practice with verb phrases too. To dial a telephone.
打電話
I don't dial the telephone.
我唔打電話
You're probably not going to use that, but you are going to use I didn't call.
我冇打電話
I didn't call.
我冇打電話
So to review, we've got a grammar point that's a bit tricky.
Yeah.
There are two ways of negating verbs.
And 冇
In the present tense, use.
唔
For the past tense, use
冇
not to go,
唔去
not to have gone,
冇去
not to call,
唔打
not to have called.
冇打
And this can be tricky because, as with our dialogue, sometimes things are in the present tense that in English we'd put in the past tense. As you keep studying Cantonese, you're going to get the hang of this though.
Yeah.
So stick with us.
And in Cantonese, we have time phrases to clear that up.
Yeah. And as always, if you have any questions, there are two really easy ways to get them answered. The first, check out our PDFs on the site. We've got the grammar points written up with tons of sample sentences. Second,
Leave us a comment on our site, CantoneseClass101.com. I'll be there to answer.
Right. Nicole is waiting for your questions.
That's right.
With that, though, we're done the lesson for today. Thanks a lot for listening, and we'll see you on the site.
See you.
Bye bye.
點解唔接我電話？
冇信號，
點解冇信號？
過緊海底隧道。